let's look. Okay, so folks, quiet. Let's look at solving now by graphing and factoring. We're going to start off with graphing, but then we'll get into the factoring like what we were doing yesterday. So we'll kind of be continuing some things we did yesterday. Graphing. Again, quiet. Graphing is real easy. All you got to do is, and I'll show you how to use the Inspire to do this, basically like how to read the graph. Now, essentially when we're saying we're solving by graphing, we want to take the f of x, set it equal to 0, but when you're looking at the graph, all you're cared about, because when you're solving for a quadratic function, you're basically saying the y is equal to 0, the f of x is equal to 0. But in the graph, all you're concerned about is where is the y equal to 0? That's when you're crossing the x-axis. Those are the x-intercepts. The x-intercepts are what we call zeros, or roots, solutions, basically your answers. So when I say find the zeros, I am saying find the x-intercepts, the x values of those x-intercepts. Okay. And again, I will show you how to do that on the calculator with the Inspire. Obviously I cannot, like say, do that here, so probably if I want to say record this and put it up on Edmodo, I will probably have to do a separate recording of me just like working on the calculator and having the iPad as I work the calculator and recording that video, then trying to post that up. I've had kind of some success with that. We'll try. But anyways, I'll do this though first, so we'll kind of go over there, and then you can hopefully have the other video. But you know, whatever steps I tell you to do here, you can write them down on your notes and you should be able to keep track of it there. By factoring, I want to make sure, again, that it's always equal to 0. So you need to make sure the function is equal to 0. So when it starts off saying like f of x is equal to whatever, cross out the f of x and set it equal to 0. So here's our first example. F of x is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 12. And probably tomorrow I'll say solve. Like if you saw yesterday's worksheet, it was always factor, factor, factor. Now I'm going to say solve. And it starts off the same way. Parentheses, parentheses, x, x. Minus plus is a what? That's why y'all have that minus, minus. Well, y'all have the chart. Okay, what are your factors of 12? What numbers multiplied to give you 12 will add up to 8? 6 and 2. Okay, if you said each one of those equal to 0. See, yesterday we stopped at the x minus 6, x minus 2. Now, you're going to finish it out, set them equal to 0, solve, and you should finally get your final answer to be x equals 6 and x equals 2. Should be. Okay, so quiet. Since the x squared number, whatever, should be easy enough, let's do one with the number in front of the x squared. So let's do 3x squared minus 5x minus 28. And then, again, how do I start off with those? It's minus minus is a plus and a minus, okay? And what do you put in the parentheses at first? The 3x. Yes, you will set it equal to 0. But you're going to put 3x, 3x into each parentheses.
Then you multiply the 3 times.
Multiply 3 times 28, you will get 84. Find all your factors of 84. And you should have 1 and 84, 2 and 42, 3 and 28, 4 and 21, 5 doesn't work, 6 and 14, 7 and 12.
7 and 12.
Okay, and 7 and 12 is the one you're going to use because that one subtracts to give you a negative 5. So, and it should be in the order of 7 minus 12. Now, to keep it the same, like with what we were doing yesterday, one of those has an extra 3. I need to get rid of it. So, which one is it? The one with the 12. Okay, divide that out. You have x minus 4 is equal to 0, and 3x plus 7 is equal to 0, and solve. And you should be able to hopefully do that fairly quickly, easily, without even doing much, say, scratch work. Because as we do this again, how do we solve? We subtract 7, and then we would divide by 3. We're solving at this point now. Yesterday we would have just stopped at those parentheses. Okay, and you know you'll have some of those, but when I say solve it, you've got to go that little bit further. Yes, ma'am.
Do we have to put both of the x?
Solve for f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. Let me give you a minute or two to work that out on your own. Okay. And then from there, what do you need to do?
Multiply some 4 and get 8, so get 1.
Right. And should it be 1 minus 8 or 8 minus 1?
8 minus 1.
8 minus 1 gives me negative 7?
1 minus 8.
1 minus 8. Obviously, you can see the 2x minus 8 should have that, has that extra 2, so I divide that out, set them equal to 0, and solve. And I should get negative 1/2 and positive 4.
Oh, I forgot.
Difference. Here's a summing difference, or difference of two squares. That's what I'm going to say. Difference of two squares. 4x squared minus 25 equals 0. Obviously, you should be able to hopefully quickly recognize that's the difference of two squares. And key to that is square roots. What's the square root of 4?
2.
What's the square root of 25?
5.
Okay. If I'm putting those numbers are the numbers that are going to go into the parentheses, how will they go in the parentheses?
4.
No, 2.
2.
2x.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Wait, so now we don't have
So
4x,
it's
right?
2x on both, right?
Right.
Okay,
And
Two.
then you just bring down the 5.
That's it. Set those equal to 0 and solve, and you've got your answer. Okay, if I set it where it's not equal to 0, like I say 9x squared equals to 1, how do I get, I want that to equal 0. How do I make it equal 0? Subtract 1. And say 9x squared.
It's just 9x squared and then equals 1.
Yeah. But then I wouldn't, because this is the format I wanted, where I can, was there a square root for 9? Is there a square root for 1? Yes. Is there a minus in between them? That's the way I want it. So when it said 9x squared equals 1, that's not in the format. I want it equal to 0. So how do I get it equal to 0? Move it to the other side. Move to 1.
Oh, okay.
And generally, again, I always want everything on the side of the x squared. Okay? So, from there, what's the square root of 9?
3.
What's the square root of 1? And then you just put them into the parentheses. 3x plus 1, 3x minus 1. Set those equal to 0, and you will have your final answer.
I get it now.
Yay. One. Here's the, what is it, perfect square trinomials. And again, look to see if the end numbers have square roots. 16.
Okay. I was like, is that a B? Well, it's not a B.
16.
PJ, don't be so sensitive about your numbers, okay?
Alright, what's the square root of 16, by the way?
Oh, that's true.
4.
4. What's the square root of 49?
7.
7. Okay. And again, 28 times 2 gives you 56. That's where you get that middle number. So,
Right.
where do I put? I just put the 4 and 7 in the parentheses. There you go. Now, that's what we did for the factoring. When you're solving that, you don't even have to worry about the square. Just say what's 4. Put 4x plus 7 equal to 0 and solve, and you get x is equal to negative 7 over 4. The square tells you that this is supposedly what is called a double root. It means that you get basically the same answer twice. And am I going to be really concerned with you telling me, it's a double root on the quiz? No. The main thing is just getting that answer.
Where did you go to the 56? Like, you didn't touch it off? You don't have to?
Well, you don't have to. I mean, it's taken care of by the fact you can use it as, like, am I doing this the right way? Like, if you go 4 times 7 is 28. The formula said then you multiply that by 2. 28 times 2 is 56. Well, yeah, you know you've got this in front.
Okay, so
look, the reason why this happens, and just to quickly explain, like I said, this is something we're going to go over more in chapter 6. But, like I said, this right here, this 4x plus 7 squared, it was supposedly that you could multiply that times itself and get that quadratic. So in other words, if I said 4x plus 7 times 4x plus 7, 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 4x is 28x. 4 times 7 is 28x. And 4 times 4 is 16x squared. Well, I got the 16x squared. 28 plus 28 is 56. And the 49 is already there. So really, I don't need the 56 to help me with the factor. Yeah, it's there, and we'll see how we get to that in chapter 6.
Okay, so when it's those kinds of problems,
Uh-huh.
and the two at the end are square roots, you just take the square root of both of them and then just put them in a parentheses.
Yep.
What the structure? So you get
For the shortness of it, yeah.
So you get the square root and you still like try to solve it. You're like 4 to the 56x plus 7 is 0.
20x is equal to 4x squared plus 25. Is that equal to 0?
No, you have to move the 20.
Move the 20 over.
So it'll be negative 29.
Right? And then you go through again. Are there square roots? Is there a square root of 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a square root of 25?
Yeah, it is.
Now again, how do I know that's a minus? There's a minus in the middle. There should be a minus in the middle. Solve that. What would you get?
X over 1, x 1 over 5. No.
Not quite 1 over 5. 5 over 2 would be. And there you go. And again, that's a double root.
Why is the 20 never mind?
So when you're trying to find that, do you just forget about the square root?
Pretty much, yes.
Why is the 20
Your assignment is from the Practice B workbook, problems 1 through 7, and number 10 from the textbook, page 338. And all this can help you get ready for the quiz. Page 338, 18 through 22, 24, and 25.
You finish your work.
Now, keep in mind again for the quiz, 5-1, 5-2, factoring, and 5-3. You should be able to, like I said, you can use your notes, should be able to follow those notes, and you should be okay for the quiz tomorrow.
I'm not